Today, we're starting the first room makeover in my new house and turning the dining room into a whiskey lounge. I currently use this room as my office with a seating area, and it will still need to function as my office on work from home days, but the room is just a little bit boring and sad looking. So follow along with me as I transform this builder grade dining room into a dark and moody speakeasy. Before I actually buy any of the supplies needed for this project, I had mapped out on my floor and the wall how I wanted it to come together. Between the depth of the furniture that I wanted, and then on the walls, the shapes of the arches that we're going to build. It has taken me forever to figure out how I want these arches and then this entire back wall to come to life. And then I have been sitting on it for weeks trying to process, trying to think about how exactly I want everything to look. And then I realized I just need to start building everything out. That is how my mind works. I need to start seeing the pieces come together, visualize it in the space, and then I can start to move on and build off of that to figure out how I want the rest of it to look. So along this bottom section on the other side of this bar that we already have existing, I wanted to take that and make it the center, the focal point of this wall, and then build off of it on either side. So underneath of it, I'm going to have kitchen cabinets, like lower set of kitchen cabinets. And then up above is where our Billy bookcases and the arches are going to go. And then to make it look a little bit more seamless, because this island that we already have from our old house is, it has a lot more detail to it, a lot more of like these spindle legs and things like that, where the cabinets are going to look very boxy and plain. So as a way to kind of make it all look cohesive, I am going to take the top off of the island and we're going to make one long butcher block piece across the top to kind of give us a little bit of a work area and make it look a little bit more seamless. Before we can get started building out the cabinets, I need to remove the baseboards and the chair railing all along this back wall. And I'd also remove them from that short wall to the left. Next, I'm going to add the lower cabinets. So I found these unfinished cabinets on Lowes.com for a great price, but I failed to notice one tiny little detail. They did not come already assembled. I had placed the order, and then the day that they showed up, I was so confused when I saw flat boxes and not fully built cabinets. I was inside for 10 freaking minutes removing those baseboards, and it rained all over my cabinet. Of course it did. Of course it did. It was not supposed to rain today at all. I was gone for 10 minutes. Let's hope they're not ruined. This threw a wrench in my timeline since I was not expecting to build these myself, and it set me back an entire day. But overall, the build wasn't too terribly difficult, and the rain didn't ruin anything, thank goodness. Now that the lower cabinets are in, I had headed off to IKEA to pick up 4 of the small size Billy bookcase units as the upper shelving system. Adding glue is not necessary when building these bookcases, but since I'm hanging them free floating on the wall, I want them to be as sturdy as possible. I'm also not adding the backers onto them because of the brackets that we bought, so I need all the stability I can get. You guys, I mapped out and measured this space and all of my furniture, everything, multiple times to make sure that everything was going to fit before I bought it. So I bought the Billy bookcases, everything was going great, and then guess what? It does not look like we can fit 2 bookcases in this section. When I originally measured it, or when I was looking on the website for the measurements, I swear it said 30 inches, which was exactly going to fit. There's 60 inches on either side, and it is 31 and a half, an inch and a half too long for where I want it, and 2 of them side by side is going to make it about 3 inches too long. So since these are going up onto the wall, I'm not as concerned about it. So it is going to like hang over on the edge of our island here a little bit. So the back side of it on either side, about 3 inches, are going to hang over top. But like I said, we're putting one long butcher block counter on top of this. So I don't think it's going to be quite as noticeable as if we were to leave this by itself and then have like another countertop coming over here. And then you would see the arches going out a little bit further. So I think it's going to be fine. I'm just going to roll with it. We're not going to change the plan at this point. Next, I found the studs in the wall and I drew a line so I know where I need to put the brackets for hanging all of the bookcases up on the wall. I was able to add 1 bracket into a stud, and then due to the spacing of how far apart we needed them, on the second one we used heavy-duty toggle bolt anchors. IKEA is great for customization of their core items. They have so many options to customize the Billy bookcase. We decided to put some doors on a portion of the shelves to give a little more high-end speakeasy feel. But the day we had went to IKEA, they only had 4 doors in stock, so I only put them on the 2 middle sections for now, and I haven't decided if I'm going to put additional doors on at this point. Like I mentioned earlier, I wanted as much stability as possible on these shelves. They're going to be holding a lot of weight. So I also added these metal brackets to the bottom, and I put 2 under each shelf. But I didn't use the tiny screws they come with on the walls. Instead, I made sure that these were both in studs, and I used my long construction screws. But the small screws were good enough for attaching the brackets to the shelf itself. So now that I have all of the cabinets built and up on the wall where they're gonna go, we're starting to get that built-in look, but the next thing that we're gonna do is add the arches on top and really bring this thing to life and give it that built-in look. I'm gonna be using this 1/4 inch thick MDF board, and I'm using MDF, 1, because it's light, and 2, because it is very straight, so I don't have to worry about this being bowed or anything like that. And I wanted it as thin as possible so that it's not too bulky sticking out on top of these cabinets. So I created this arch template, and it took me a couple of tries to get it right. But now that I have this one, I'm gonna just trace it onto my MDF boards. I'm gonna need 3 more. We're gonna cut them out with a jigsaw. I think that's gonna be the easiest way, and then we'll start getting it added up on top of the cabinets. I was able to get 2 arches out of one 2-foot by 4-foot MDF board. In order for me to attach this to the very top here, I'm gonna need to put some sort of support behind it on the ceiling, and then I can attach this MDF to that support. So what I'm gonna use there is a 2x4, and I'm just gonna secure this straight up into the ceiling, and then I will have that ledge right here that I can then just, you know, brad nail or something this MDF archway to.
I do think it would have been better to use something smaller like a 1x. I had to pull down the arches a little bit because you could see that 2x, and I also feel like you can see too much of the wood from the floor looking up, where a 1x would have been thinner and easier to conceal. This isn't holding any weight, so it didn't need to be such a thick piece of wood.
I got these decorative feet from Lowe's to go on the bottom of the cabinets here. They came with these plastic feet that are just really hideous. I would never want to put these on the bottom of my cabinets. So we're going with these chunkier, more sturdy wooden feet. And the details on them also match the island that we have in the center. So it kind of ties it all together. I am seeing the vision. We still have so much work to do before it's completely done. But the next thing that we need to figure out is how the heck to get the wood top on this existing island off. It seems like we've kind of tried to take a look at it. It seems like it is on there in a way that's gonna make it pretty difficult to take off. So that's what we're gonna work on next. Gonna figure out if I can get that, because we need to take the top of this off so that we can add the butcher block going all the way from wall to wall on top, and this is going to be then one solid flat surface and not have the levels to it that it currently does. So we got the top off of the island, but now you can see they are actually not quite level like I thought they were going to be. There's about 3/4 of an inch to an inch space. These are still a little bit lower than the cabinet is. So what we did, we were able to go to Home Depot and we got this a 3/4 inch MDF board, and they were able to cut it down right there for me to the exact measurements that I needed. So I have the one down on here, and then I need to put the other one on this side. We placed something that we thought would be level across the top here, and it is still ever so slightly higher in the island area, but we got some shims to be able to put under the MDF board, so that way hopefully once we put the butcher block on, it is going to be a nice flat seamless top. So we didn't want there to be a seam right in the middle of the butcher blocks or like kind of off center. And we couldn't find a butcher block that was long enough to span this entire space. So we got an 8-foot that we have up top, and then we have another 6-foot. And what I'm gonna do is cut down the 6-foot so we have a piece over here and then a piece over here, which will make it a little bit more cohesive and not have such an obvious seam right in the middle there, or kind of off center. Well, that's about as far as I got for the first episode of this Speakeasy series, and we still have so much to do. In the next episode, I need to make the arches actually look like part of the cabinet, add in that finishing trim, and get the whole thing painted. For now, we just threw all of our collection up on the shelves, so this whole thing still needs to be styled, and we need to add those finishing touches. But let me know in the comments what color do you think I'm gonna pick, and I'll see you in the next episode.